So yesterday I did a video saying that we could be getting ready for a sharp correction in the markets, and it looks like today may have given us a bit of a confirmation that now the probability is there of it may happening. Let me share with you exactly what the charts are saying and all that other down home country goodness. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into today's update. Yesterday I did a video on the Dow Jones and I was talking about a few things with the Dow Jones. Now the very first thing that I mentioned was the very first thing that caught my radar on how we maybe this whole trend could be coming to an end right now for a short term, okay? This is the absolute short term, guys. What I mean by short term is maybe over the next few weeks, okay? That's what I see here. Ultimately, short term, we may get a bit of a drop, maybe even a bit of a correction, right? Like a 5 or a 10% drop in the markets. That's what may be starting right now. But if it's down 10+%, guess who's going to be buying the hell out of the markets? This guy, right? Because, you know, then that's going to be a layup for me to see a big move. You know, the way things are looking right now is that we may be getting ready for a short-term drop right now into September. You know, maybe even into October. I don't know, right? But then I see probably October, November, December, or at least November, December being very, very, very bullish months. This is probably going to have a bit of a pullback here for a few weeks, and then a very big sort of slingshot move back to the upside and moving into next year as well. So that's what I'm seeing right now, guys. And the Dow Jones is giving us that warning sign. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but the market starts to give us warning signs of when we may be in that territory. Now, I like to see this pattern happen on all the indices, especially with the S&P and the Dow. I know the Nasdaq is in a world of its own, but the Dow Jones and the S&P, I like to see them both form in this pattern, but we're not. We're just getting this pattern right now, which is on the Dow Jones. So let me share with you what I'm seeing here. Firstly, let me just take this off the screen here. I was just doing some analysis with my private clients section there. So oh, by the way, guys, if you're interested in learning how I trade the markets, my trading system, if you're looking to learn, you know, the most important things that goes into a good trader, and plus also maybe a bit of a story of how I almost completely wiped myself out and blew myself up and almost went bankrupt. A bit of a dark story. First thing in the description, you can get access to that. Let's have a look at this here on the weekly charts. Now, look at this here. Let me take this off the screen here. Notice what we have here on the weekly charts. Notice what I like to do when I'm looking at the markets is I like to see these markets as a closing of markets. The closing price is the most important price to us in the markets, right? We can look at the wicks. The wicks is okay, but we'll notice the closing prices really do tell us something. And I'll give you an example here. Remember, this is the weekly chart on the Dow Jones we're looking at right now. Let me just take it off the screen. Let me blow this up so all you can see is just the Dow Jones, very close up for you, but I'm trying to share with you exactly when we're looking at the markets, the closing prices are most important to the market. You can see here that we closed right there. We couldn't close above here. We closed just right there. We couldn't get above here. We closed right there. Look at that. Remember, these are weekly bars, so 5 trading days. You can see here, just closed just slightly around that place through there, right? Just slightly above it, not too much. And you can see here, closed there. But this one here, definitely what? That was the very first time we had a very solid close above, not right near it, but right above that. And then guess what happened? That whole resistance level now became what? Look at this here. Remember, this is a weekly chart once again. This is what happened within 1 week. Up, down, sideways, close. Well, the bar didn't go sideways. It just, right? Look how heavy. Came down, rejected that point, came back up, closed there. But look at this here. Couldn't close above. Next bar, pretty good. Next bar, open, came all the way down, rejected it off this line, came all the way back up, closed there. Look there, couldn't reject it. But look what has happened right now today. Look what's happened. We have done what? A nice solid close below this significant support line. And if we're looking at this support line, maybe we could even just jig it around just a little bit to say, okay, maybe it might be somewhere through there. We could see, right? Because you can see here, that was that touch there. So maybe we could use that. It's around about that level. It's within, as you can see, it's within a few points of this range. But you can see here, or especially now you can see, look at this here. We did not close this whole level. The market could not close above it. We could not close above it. And then guess what? As soon as we did there, support, support, support. Look what's happening right now. We're doing what? We're closing right below this major support level. That's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of having problems getting below it ever since we closed back above it. Now we're closing below it. It's broken support. Now what that means is that tells us that this little move here couldn't be this move from here, because as you can see, it ran up and then went sideways and then ran up, and now it's doing this here. So this whole thing here could be one big false breakout to the upside. And so now we could be getting ready for a move on the downside. And so you can see that by looking at this level here, if I go back to my daily charts now, that looks like we could be getting ready for a drop down towards these levels down here, maybe around the 33.50 level. And as you can see, and remember that the whole analogy is what? The trend is your friend until the end. Now, it doesn't mean we're definitely going to get this, guys, but this is the warning sign. In the past, we haven't got the warning sign yet. And again, the S&P is not doing this right now, but I'll get to the S&P in just a minute, right? So we have a low, higher low, and a higher low. Look what's happened now. High, lower high, severely closing, seriously closing below what? This significant support line. What does that mean? That's not good, right? Because if this whole level here was a good, strong support level, we would have held support, and then did something like that and continued up. We didn't. We actually broke down. Now we're getting a solid close below this level. So next week, we're probably going to rally back up, probably hit that level, reject it, and have a pretty nice move on the downside. And if we have a look at from a percentage terms, 5-6% on the downside, could see that 33,500 level come into play. And we may even see a move back down even further than that. So if we have a look from the last significant low, so this was the last significant low back here before like this reset. So if we move this from low to high, then we could be, let's have a look at that there. That is a what? That's a 10 to 15% drop. So we could be now on our way down to, short term would be around at this level here, but we could be now on our way down to 32,000 or even down as low as 31. I don't believe this is the top, guys. This is just something that happens pretty much most years of the markets, where we get a correction. If you study history and you look at all the entire markets, this is not talking about bull. This is not talking about bear markets, right? Bear markets are different. But when we're in a bull market, and we get a correction, which is say 10 to 15% correction, and sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's like 8 to 10, say 8%, 8 to 10%. Literally 80% of those times, and this is the numbers, 80% of those times when we're in a bull market and we get an 8 to 10%, 80% of those are just corrections, and they don't turn into bear markets. So if we do get a correction here, that's going to be very, very, very healthy to see then a move to the upside coming into maybe late this year and even into next year as well. So that's what I'm looking at there, guys, for what's happening here. This is not looking good on the short term. So this is seriously a warning. And look at that, 333 on the actual on the volume there. Look at that there. Hey, wouldn't it be awesome if it was 333.3 million shares? I know you guys probably can't see that, but that's the number that I'm seeing. So 333, guys. Looking at the Dow, look at the S&P 500 as well too, and the S&P 500. This is my thoughts, and my thoughts are pretty much wrong most of the time. I really thought we would have held and broke to the upside and started to make a move up. We maybe, this wedgie that we've been in, spaghetti-o, we may be getting ready for a drop to the downside here, guys. So we're not out of the woodworks yet, meaning that the trend is still on the upside. This is where it's hard on the S&P, right? We have a low, we still have a higher low through here. This could just be some sort of like that before we see something like that. So this is not giving us a much more of a warning sign as yet out of this sort of pattern through here. But the Dow Jones is, right? We're starting to get that warning sign. So maybe the Dow Jones is that early warning sign to maybe seeing the S&P 500 coming down. So let me know what you think in the chat box below, guys. I'd love to hear what you think about this. But this is a massive warning sign that a sharp correction could be starting next week in the markets. Once again, guys, if you'd like to learn how I trade the markets, like my actual trading system in detail, 3 secrets that you must know right now to become a really good trader and for you to do well out of trading. And also a story about my dark past of how I almost got completely wiped out and I almost went bankrupt. I'm going to talk to you about that story and what actually happened and what happened moving forward after that. First link in the description, guys. Hope you enjoyed this and I'll speak to you real soon.